Good morning guys, welcome back to a brand new video. This morning here at Miracle Mountain, we were completely in the clouds. It was beautiful, but that has just burnt off and it's gonna be a really lovely, pretty warm day, about 19 degrees today. So I'm excited to get on with some work in the stone house renovation. There is nothing better than a warm autumn's day where I can just wear a t-shirt and get on with some jobs. Look at the sun bursting through the tree line. It's just gorgeous. And if you happen to be one of the new subscribers to the channel, welcome. We have a really cool project ahead of us. I am currently renovating that stone building behind me into a place where you are going to be able to come and stay here at Miracle Mountain. So today I'm going to be working inside the main section of the house, and if you remember back to the last video, you can see all of these big stones that smashed into pieces. That's actually really good because now I can get someone to help me lift them into the tractor bucket, because I can bring the tractor bucket right up to the front of this door and it's about the same size. Load that up and move the stone somewhere out the way for now. But today I'm gonna tackle these big stones right here. These need basically breaking into smaller bits, and you can already see that here it's split and there's a big line down the middle of that one, so that should be quite easy to split. I'm not so sure about the stone behind it. The more time I spend working inside this building, the more I can really tell the potential that this place has. So just to give you guys an idea of scale, I'm going to sit on this stone. You can see it's probably about 5 foot by 3 foot big. It's massive, and no stone is the same. I have found out by working with lots of stone, all different. Some are really tough, some are softer. Generally, I've found that some of the stone that's been sitting underground for a long time is a lot easier to break up. It's been softened by all of the moisture. But the important thing is, when you're breaking stones up, is to look for the veins and the weak points of the stone and then tap into them. You do not need the gym when you're renovating a big stone building like this. I am sweating buckets chiseling that stone. Let me show you where I'm at. So you can see here, I've managed to break it up a lot. A big chunk came off the right-hand side. There's kind of a vein through the middle there, but chiseling it, because it's such a big dense piece of stone. It's going to take me ages, so I'm going to bring in the big guns and go and get the angle grinder. This is a solid chunk as well. There's no veins, there's no weak points, so that is going to need splitting into two to move it out of this building. And then the stone behind it, it's split in half really quite easily, and you can still see the remnants from the fire. That right there is all the leftover coals from what burnt of the roofing and the flooring. Things are going really well. I'm just taking a little break because sweat is currently dripping into my eyes, which is lovely, but I've just managed to split the main and hardest stone, which is very cool. So that is in two pieces now, or three pieces, and much easier to remove into the tractor and then dispose of out the way of the building site for now. But that stone's solid. That can definitely be used for something. The outer part of the stone, probably about 6 inches in from the fire, that was all kind of crumbling and soft, but that gives me a lot of encouragement to see how hard that stone was to break up with a massive angle grinder and a hammer and chisel. That means the other stones should be just fine in the wall. It's just kind of like the first probably 2 to 6 inches that is crumbling away. The rest of it seems super solid in the middle. But I know a lot of you guys are going to be saying, why don't you use wedges when you're splitting stone? I usually do, but all of my stone splitting stuff is at the off-grid property, so I definitely need to bring that over. And there it is. So you can see completely split into 3 pieces. So much more manageable. That was the stone that I was sitting on that was like 5 foot long. So the fact that it's now broken into all of these pieces, these 3 will be easy to move, and I just need to split this section of the stone. This one will be a little bit more difficult, but you probably saw me maybe with the big crowbar. I'm basically lifting the stone up, getting some leverage and then propping stones underneath there so I can get a strap underneath or a chain underneath the stone to then pull it out. Do you want your very own website but don't know where to start? Why not try out Squarespace and see for yourself how simple it is to create your very own professional looking website in no time. Designed with the user in mind, Squarespace has an easy and uncomplicated interface so you can bring your ideas to life. Browse through their templates to see which one works for you and the web page you have in mind. You can preview each template to see how it looks in real time, and it's no hassle to switch up the template at any point. We've changed our website template a couple of times over the years and it's been a breeze. The templates are customizable. Add and remove any features you want whilst altering the colour, font, layout and more. Squarespace gives you the option to buy your own domain directly through them, where you can search through various options and buy multiple domains if you wish. Handy features such as a free logo maker, newsletter and even a commerce section ensures you can have the website you want. We love having everything to do with our website in one place rather than having numerous third-party applications that all have to tie in together. Squarespace has wrapped it all up in one. So what you're waiting for? Click the link in our description or head to squarespace.com/indieprojects for a 14-day free trial and 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. So that's a good job done. All of them stones are now cut up into sizable chunks that can be moved out of that house a lot more easily. And I got some friends turning up tomorrow to help me. But I just wanted to show you all of the cool mushrooms that are growing everywhere. So look at this. These are absolutely everywhere. How pretty is that? And that is pretty for a reason, because it's inviting you to die, essentially. Do not eat that mushroom. But if I come over here, they are everywhere. Look at the size of this one. It's bigger than my hand and they are absolutely everywhere. And I love the contrast of these mushrooms with the leaves on the floor. Look at this, looks like a fairy tale mushroom. Two together, one just coming up just there. Another one over here. They're absolutely everywhere. I am no mushroom expert, but living on Miracle Mountain, I'm definitely learning a lot more about mushrooms and how to ID them, which is really cool. Along with all the trees and stuff, I've been IDing all the trees. When my parents were over, my mum ID'd loads of trees and gave me a chart, so that's really helpful. But if you are out foraging for wild mushrooms, make sure you do your research, because it can be fatal. Like they say, all mushrooms are edible, but some will kill you. One mushroom that is blowing my mind is over here, and it's blanketing the whole ground. You can see all the way around this tree. Anything that's white is a mushroom. See if I can get a close-up, but they're all individual mushrooms along here. There must be thousands of them, spreads all the way, and they get slightly bigger over here. But how amazing is that? What a great ecosystem. The earth must just be amazing around these trees. And over here, you might be able to see a little bit better how cool they are. That is just amazing. We also have stinkhorns absolutely everywhere. They're usually lining the roads on the property. So when you're walking along, you can definitely tell when you're nearby, because they do reek. So unfortunately, my friends couldn't make it to help me clear all of this stone out. So I've got plan B. I'm adapting to my environment like a snow leopard and I'm just gonna get on with it. I've just set up the scaffold and what I'm gonna do is go up and see how hard it is to take this lime render off the wall. Lime render is usually a lot softer than a cement-based render or concrete. So I think it will come off pretty easily. And if it does, that's really nice because I've got quite a lot to take off in this room, but also the other rooms as well. So I better get on with it. Right, so I'm up on the scaffold and before I get started, I just wanted to show you how hollow this is. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's very hollow, which is very encouraging. And also there's bulges here, which means that plaster is going to fall straight off. I mean, look down here, it's really weak. With my hand, I can just, the beauty of lime render. This looks like maybe a lime clay based render. Really nice. But yeah, it comes off super easy in this part. So let's see how I get on and try and get this whole wall finished. So that went way better than expected. I knew it wasn't going to be stuck on there too hard because it's very old. It's definitely the original render of this house. It's been through a fire and it has been soaked for months on end by the rain. So it is coming off really nicely. So that's a real positive because I've still got a long way to go with that. Look at this though, way nicer. All the render is gone. The stone behind it actually looks in like pretty good condition, which is cool. Maybe the line render actually helped the stone because the stones look pretty healthy under this, and once I jet wash this back, it's gonna look lovely. I'm just standing in the doorway of the first part of the house that leads to the main section of the house. It's really cool, and look at that. I have height, so I'm 6'3", and obviously I'm wearing a hat as well, so I've got plenty of room through this doorway, and I just want you to use your imagination for a second. Okay, so that is the stone staircase that leads up to the second floor of this first room. Imagine a lovely barn door with a big piece of glass in there so you can just look out over the view, because right here we're really nicely elevated. And then downstairs you've also got a doorway there, a nice window there, and another doorway on the second floor level here. But what I'm thinking, imagine turning this whole room into one floor, big vaulted ceilings, and then a staircase that leads up here. And if I just jump onto the scaffolding, I can show you where this doorway comes through to. So this doorway is really wide that leads into the main section of the house. And then you could walk right out here onto the second floor. There is so many options and so much space. I am getting a little bit ahead of myself. There's still a lot to do until we get to that stage, but I hope you guys are enjoying following along. I want to show you this as well. I just wanted to show you guys the view from that window up there, which will probably be one of the living rooms. But I've just got this step ladder and I'm not sure I can make it high enough. So let's see. That's about as high as I can get. I don't know if you can see that, but it's gonna make a beautiful window, almost like a picture frame. Basically, you'll just look out onto this, which will be fantastic. And coming back inside, I can't really take any more render off because I can't move that scaffolding really anywhere because all of these big boulders are absolutely everywhere. So I think I'm gonna have to call that a day, but it's been a good one. So one of the ideas I've had is once I've cleaned this second barn out, the same way that I basically cleaned out the first barn, there's still some work to do on the first barn, but again, I need to lift heavy stones, so I'm gonna need some help with that. But once this barn has been emptied out, this is a single pitch roof, and I thought it'd be really nice to maybe turn this into a kind of storage area, like put a simple roof on there and just clean it all out so that I can store all of the materials that I'm gonna need to work on this project. If you think that's a good idea, let me know in the comments. Thank you once again for all of the support. It is pretty lonely being here on my own, so it is nice to make these videos and talk to you guys. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next video in a couple of days.